Welcome once again to our Virtual Parent Summit 2020 for the San Bernardino County Superintendent of Schools. We welcome all the families, community partners, and staff joining us for this session. Once again, thank you for your participation and engagement in your kids' life, journey, and education. Thank you for supporting all of our families and students in our San Bernardino and Riverside County. As you know, this is our regional parent summit, so we welcome all families, staff, and community partners. Once again, throughout this week, we are enjoying and learning a lot from the experts in the field around different supports and resources that we can utilize in the classroom and at home, because we need to create that home to school and school to home environment. So thank you so much for being here, for your partnership, and for joining us for this session, which is a follow-up session from yesterday's keynote speaker. And as you know, we're very excited. I want to welcome and thank again our keynote speaker from yesterday, Laurel, who's joining us again to continue to share her expertise in the field. Welcome again, Laurel. How are you doing?
Hi, Marissa. Thank you so much for having me. This has been an amazing week. I mean, I have really enjoyed all of the keynotes, all of the breakout sessions, and I am completely honored that I am here with you. And thank you for having me back today.
Well, thank you. I'm excited because, I learned a lot from you yesterday. And I know some of the families that are joining us were not probably able to join us yesterday because we're parents and we have 1,000. And like my son says, it's 1,000 and a million things to do. It's not a million,
Yes.
1,000. It's 1,000 and a million things to do. So as parents, we're always busy. And so you may have, or you may have not been able to join our keynote yesterday. So, but let me tell you, Laurel, and I'm going to say your full name, Laurel, because I didn't say it in the title, but it's Laurel Aguilar Kitroff. And
Yes.
that last name, I apologize. I'm an English learner, so I hope I said it right.
It is completely fine. So for me, I recently went back to hyphenating because in my heart, I'm always an Aguilar, but my married name is Kirchhoff. And yeah, it's one of those ones with 2 H's and 2 F's and this whole thing. So don't even worry.
Okay, well, I hope I said it right, but if not,
You did.
I'm always an English learner, so please feel free to correct me. I love learning. And English and I are the same as technology and myself. So thank you so much for your keynote yesterday, because during the keynote, you really shared a lot of techniques that as a parent, I keep on learning and reminding myself, and even as a staff, because even as staff right now, we're asked to stretch our knowledge around technology, our comfort zones. But I know that as a parent, I'm stretching more because I didn't have to use these apps or these tools before at home. I had to use them at work, so in the work environment, but not at home. And so yesterday, you really gave me a lot of resources. I know you shared with us, for those of you that were not able to join because you're doing everything possible to keep your kids safe and learning in the family afloat. These are some things that I know we walked away from yesterday. So a little recap. It's Laurel shared with us that it's so important to, first of all, give grace to ourselves, that we're parents. This is something new. We're learning how to incorporate the technology in the home. And all of us have those stories that we'll tell later on, and they'll be really funny, even though at the moment we're probably crying. They will be funny one day.
I hope they'll be funny one day, because right now I'm like, oh dear.
I lost either I gained one more grade or I lost another strand. So, give grace to yourself. We're doing the best we can. The second thing is setting a schedule is so important because it helps us keep those things organized for the home, for the school expectations, and also my work expectations. So how do we make sure that we know our kids' schedule and be able to incorporate that into our own adult schedules, right? All the demands that we have as adults in the work field, at home, in the community, and also setting up an open communication strategy with our teachers, with our educators. So learning how and what best ways to communicate effectively under this environment in which we know teachers are now teaching virtually all day to a lot of kids and children. and keeping up with their work emails and all the different tools that they have to strategize with and utilize. So there's a lot of moving plates for teachers. And so how do we make sure that we have this open communication where we know it works for the teacher's time and it works for us as parents? So having that open communication with our teachers, and also setting interactive activities away from technology. Thank you, Laurel, for all the ideas that sometimes we know, but we don't plan around it. And so the whole day goes by and we don't plan around it. So yesterday was a reminder that it's important to keep those close to our hearts and our minds. So how do we intentionally turn off technology so our kids can reboot, reset, re-energize, and come back to technology? So thank you for lifting those up for me, and I know for all of our participants. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure. And I love to share my own experiences, but again, and I mentioned this yesterday, but these are just my experiences, and we all have to do what's right for our own individual families. And I want that to be very clear. I'm not, the perfect parent, but any stretch of the imagination, just ask my kids, right? They'll tell you I'm the quote unquote world's okayest mom. That's the mug that they got me for Mother's Day last year. I was at first I was offended, and then I was like, you know what? I'm good with that. I'm not the worst. I might not be the best, but I'm not the worst. So thanks.
Take the compliment.
I'll take it. I'll take
the mug.
I'll take the mug. But I mean,
you say that you're not the most perfect parent, but
no.
To me, I need to keep you in my speed dial because you shared a lot of good tools that I need to know. So I don't want to take time away from your breakout session, but I want to know. So since not all of our friends and colleagues and family members can add you to their cell phone and their speed dial, unless you don't mind that, and we'll call you at 3 a.m. with tears. What tools can you share with us in this breakout session that we have titled Home Technology Resources and Supports for Families? What can you share with us?
Well, that's a great question. I think that there's a couple of different things. And I think the top tool, and it's really a website that I want to share, is some resources that are really going to be kind of broad, but you as the parent can use it how you need it. So if I can share my screen.
Let me stop sharing.
All right. I'm going to share my screen, and I really want to start with common sense education. I think this is a really great place to go. Common Sense Media, if you're not familiar, is a nonprofit organization, and so they're not trying to sell us anything. They're not trying to, show us anything that they're making a profit off of. And actually, this is my presentation. We'll get there in a minute. I want to share a couple things, but I wanted to first take you here. And actually, I'm going to go back one step, because when you go to commonsense.org, it's going to take you to this landing page. And again, you don't have to create an account. You certainly do not have to donate if you don't want to. But I want to take you here. So you get here, and this can be, even though it's kind of stark, this might be a little overwhelming. So the place to go is right here in the middle, Common Sense Education. And this is a really great spot. And of course, my computer is running slightly slow because, life.
There's only 1 million kids logged on to school today. So
exactly. So at the top right here, you can see there's actually 3 sections. I'm going to start off in the parent section because I, as a parent, use this a lot. I never try to show anything that I don't personally use. So like I mentioned yesterday, and then for those of you that couldn't be there, I have a 7th grader and a 9th grader. So I have a tweenager and a teenager.
I love it. Yes, me too.
Yeah. And it's a very special age. So they're always asking me for apps, and can they get this game and that, and can they have this permission? And sometimes, even though I think like I'm the cool mom, turns out I really don't know everything they're talking about. So this is a great place for me to go, and I can go and get this is reviewed by the Common Sense Media. It's reviewed by parents, by educators, by advocacy groups. And it's not telling us how to parent, but just their recommendations. You can take it for whatever it's worth. So if there's a movie your kiddo wants to watch, you can go and look at these selections for family entertainment. They have some YouTube channel reviews, which my kids love YouTube. And I don't know, Marissa, maybe I don't know who all these YouTubers are. Like,
my daughter and my son name, oh, I'm watching this YouTuber, and they look at me like I'm supposed to get excited, and it's a celebrity. To them, it's a celebrity, and to me, it's like, so who is this kid? Some of them are 10-year-olds, so I'm just thinking, how appropriate is it? Some of them are teenagers, and I'm thinking, how appropriate is the language that they're utilizing? So absolutely, it scares me.
yeah, it's a lot. It can be overwhelming too, and I don't really want to go, and do that, like get on YouTube, because that could go bad like really fast.
And we have so much time. We have
Right.
so much time to do that.
Yeah, in my spare time.
Yes.
So they have all of these best streaming picks for kids, best movie lists, and you can also sort. You can see right here. You can pick your child's age, and you can create a free account if you like, and that they can send you recommendations straight to your email if you want. There's all sorts of things you can do. The same thing with books. There's a lot of books out there, and then I love this: the top 10 tips for getting your kids hooked on reading. And it's really, as much as we love technology, we definitely want them to get off of technology and to have a brain break. And reading, while it's not as exciting as YouTube, it can be if they can find a book that they love. And so there's a lot of different ones here.
And Laura, real quick, so I noticed that they have like the age, and they have some stars. What do those stars mean? Like on the movies, or the
these stars are really going to be going over their review and if they recommend it or not. So if I click on Pets United, I can click here, and they have a little eye for information and tells you exactly how they rate it. So, and they'll talk about, this is rating on our child development best practices, and you can actually go and find out more. And they say, so based on 5 reviews, what the parents say. So if you as a parent, if you see something, you can go in and you can review it too. And I think that that's the great thing. You can participate in all of this and say, hey, I really didn't think this was appropriate, and this is why, or my family loved this, and this is why. And you can also, you can get your kids to get involved in this too, which I think is really great, because then you can have these conversations, such a great conversation starter, right? And so you can, go through and see, and you could see who reviewed it also for Common Sense Media. And so
it's good to see that they're not reviewing the movie like how we see the reviews for the movie. Oh, it's a great movie. It got 3 stars. This is reviewing how it compares to their developmental stage for a 7-year-old, for a 9-year-old, for a teenager. Yes.
And they do break it down even further: the educational value, the positive messages, positive role models, language, the quote unquote, sexy stuff that's in there that maybe we don't feel is appropriate for our kiddos to watch.
That's right.
Violence and scariness, which is a big topic for me. I'm really concerned about that. Consumerism, how much are they trying to sell our kids? And then drinking, drugs, and smoking, which we're always want to be aware of, so they could also do a section here on what parents need to know, and they can go in and see this. So this is a great resource, and you can also search. They have a search bar right here. So if it's not automatically popping up, you can type in any movie, any book, any app, any game, and they'll bring it if they have it, which they have a lot. Like, their database is very robust. You can go in there.
And I love it says parents say and then kids say. So definitely you can have your kids rate it. That's great.
Oh yeah. And you can have, that's something you could do together. And you can also talk about, what makes a good movie, what makes good entertainment, what are things that align with our family values. Yes. And that's a fun conversation to have. It doesn't always have to be serious, like don't do this and don't do that. We can say like, hey, is this appropriate for how we want to live? Yes. What we want in our brain. And that's why I try to tell my kids all the time, like, once you see something, you can't unsee it.
Right.
And so I'm going to go from our family a little bit on the side of, of I don't want you to watch that yet. When you're older, you can make your own decisions, but know that once you see something, you can't unsee it. You can't take that image out of your brain. And I don't want those images floating around in there. Not yet. We got a long life to go.
And I think you're right. I think we need to kind of take back before the kids are exposed to certain movies is how we have the conversation to process what they're about to watch. So this is a good filter as a parent to see, I haven't talked to my kids about drugs and how that impacts their lives. Maybe we need to have that conversation before, and is this appropriate for their age as well? And if we haven't had that conversation, if my kid is not ready to process that information, then it definitely is not a movie or a book that they need to read.
Exactly.
Yeah,
The
thank you
same
for this.
thing. Oh yeah, no, I'm telling you, I love this website. I do. And I'm not paid by Common Sense. I'm not affiliated with them anyway. Just as a mom, like I really love this. My kids, my younger son is a gamer. Like he really is into video games. Really, really. Really, really. And we have a PlayStation and he has a Switch, and he's always asking me, if he can play certain games, and I do have like, I'm pretty strict when it comes. I don't like, they're teenagers, so but I still, again, that whole like, I don't. Once you see something, you can't see it, and video games are very sophisticated now.
Yes.
So I spend a lot of time in the game reviews before I'm allowed them to purchase it. I have the permission set on their gamers that they can't go in and purchase something without my approval. Obviously, they want my money to pay for them, but like if I'm paying for it, I'm approving it. And even if I'm not paying for it, I'm approving it. When you're 18, you can make your own decisions. But and you can go into game reviews here. You can select by the age that you want to sort by. You can also sort if it's an app, a website. You can see they have almost 5,000 apps that they have reviewed. I mean, I didn't even know there are 5,000 apps out there. Like,
yes,
that's like mind blowing to me.
Gaming apps.
Yeah, they have websites, and so you can see it you can sort by the entertainment type right here. You can also sort by the genre. If you have a certain platform, like my kids have a PlayStation, they have over 1,114 game reviews that are just for PlayStation. Wow. So if they ask me something, I can go in and double check it. And to be completely honest, and not to call my kids out, I mean, I love them. They've asked me for some games lately, and I went on here and I checked it out, and I said, no, I'm sorry. No, that's not something I want in my house. Yes. And they're like, well, but so-and-so's mom. Like, good for them.
So has it. All my friends are playing it. And it's a hard conversation to have with our kids because they feel almost like they're not part of that group and they're not playing with their friends. But it's also for us, it's an accountability, like you said. When you are exposed to this, you have different responsibilities, honey. And that's something that right now you shouldn't be worrying about.
Let's not take that on.
Yes, we're not there yet. And so, it is a conversation that we need to have more and more as our kids grow older. Because you're right, more friends will start doing things that maybe they're allowed to do, or there is no filters for them.
And for me, what I'm seeing, and a little bit less since we've been, home more and not going out and not going over to friends' house, but they want to play online together. Yes. And so as a form of communication, and I get that. I know they miss their friends. They miss going to school so much. Yes, they miss all of it. And I want them to connect with their friends, but it has, in my family at least, and everybody of course can do it's right for them, but I feel like they could connect in a different way or on a different game. They don't have to play a game. In my family, the cutoff is they're not allowed to play rated M because M stands for mature. And let's face it, my teenagers are not mature yet. So, and they're getting there, but this is helping to develop their maturity as well, is being able to make decisions. And so I could put in, age 14, which is my older son, and I can go through and say, you can play any of these games. All of these games are appropriate for age 14. But above that, sorry, dude, let's try something else.
That's great.
Yeah. One other really important section I want to show you, and I think that this is something, I think I alluded to this yesterday in my keynote, but I really want to show you this parent needs to know section. This is, I think, the crowning jewel of common sense media for parents. Like, this is like the, yeah.
Oh,
Thank you.
there's angels.
Yes, everything. The sun is shining. The birds are singing.
This is what I need. So I don't call you at 2 a.m. Show me.
This is the place to go. Yes. This is where you can go in and you can sort by your kiddo's age. You can sort by topic. A lot of times people ask me a very specific question, and I immediately come here. A lot of people want to know about cell phones and kids and screen time and social media. Oh my gosh, social media, right? And so you can go in here and you can search this. And again, you take everything you see here with a grain of salt, apply it how you want to your own family. But what I really love is this Parent's Ultimate Guide to ...
Oh, yes.
Because a lot of times I'm asked about certain apps and what it is, especially the up and coming new ones like TikTok, right? And TikTok has been in the news a ton.
A lot.
A ton.
Yes.
But if you're not sure what it is, and you're like, I don't know what this TikTok is, you can come and you can look, and it will really tell you everything you ever wanted to know or didn't ever want to know about these different apps and things. So, and it's very easy. I want to point this out. It's very easy to translate this into Spanish if you so desire. You can click right here and it will translate the whole article and the video into Spanish. So that's really an easy resource. I just love it. And so you can
TikTok
go here.
boomed during our pandemic. I mean, I never even knew TikTok. And then my daughter said, can I have a TikTok account? And my rule is, if you want something, I need to have it first. I need to see it first. And so that's just part of our agreement. We have a contract with technology agreement with my daughter. And so we kind of go through that process. And so I have nightmares of certain stuff that I've seen kids post on TikTok. Very revealing or exposing themselves. And my question is always, do the parents know about this account? Are they being checked? Because it's too much for a kid to be posting this much information about themselves. Or sometimes they're sharing things that makes me wonder, are they okay emotionally? Are they talking to the right people? And so I feel like TikTok, it's one of those, it's kind of like a Facebook for children a lot. And so how much do we monitor that?
Now I'm going to get all ed
Let's do
techie.
it.
I'm going to get a little bit ed techie, and I'm going to kind of be like mom, but also like, hey, this is my digital learning site. So something that people should know about TikTok is, number one, they are very clear in their privacy that they will sell your information. Not only will they sell your personal information, they also rent it out, and they are not responsible, according to their privacy agreement that you sign when you click agree to download the app, that they're not responsible for any third-party transmissions and things like that. The second you download that app, whether it's a kid, a parent, anyone, you're basically giving them access to every single thing on your device, on your phone.
Wow.
It's pretty shocking. I would highly recommend you read their privacy agreement. Now, I know that they were just purchased by another company, so that might change. And so, but you can go in and read their agreement. I don't want to scare people, and I'm not telling you what to do if you already have TikTok, but if your kid has TikTok, just know that they have access to all of your kids' data on their phone. And maybe that's something you're okay with, and maybe it's something you're not. You can go through and you can click on any of these. It tells you what age TikTok is recommended for. Can kids under 13 use TikTok? How to make your account private, and that would obviously be the most protection on there. But you can go through and read all of these, and these again can be translated into English and Spanish. I mean, there are some big flaws with this app because again, it's a great opportunity though to have a conversation with your kids about, not everybody online is who they say they are. And not that we
Right.
want to scare our kids, but we also want to help them curate their digital footprint and know that anything that they put out now is going to be out there
Forever.
forever.
Yes. Yes.
Forever. And maybe they think that that's something that they're okay with, but they don't have really that life experience to know that when they go apply for their first job and there's a search on their name, which will happen,
Mm-hmm.
that's a pretty common practice for employers now. When they Google that their child's name, when they apply for their first job, is the first thing they want to see a TikTok that they've done. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. And even if they
Right.
take it down, doesn't mean it goes away. Same thing with Snapchat and all of those other apps. So I don't want to scare people. You can certainly go in and make these decisions for yourself and your family and your kiddos. For me, I really didn't know a lot about Roblox. I wasn't sure what it was, and my kids were telling me one thing. And so I went in here and I checked it out, and I was like, I think I'm okay with it, but I'm going to watch you play it and see kind of how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a great resource, and you can go through. When you click more, it'll show you a ton more. And again, you can just do a general search right up here in the search bar as well. They do have a Latino section where they have articles that are in Spanish and things like that. But like I said, this is pretty much universal throughout their app. Most things can be clicked and just changed into Spanish if that's what you want, pretty easily. The last thing I want to show you here, and I don't want to run out of time because I know that we only have so much time, and I could talk about this forever. But I think that this is really helpful for parents, is this distance learning area.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, there's, the
We're
struggle
in that
is
era.
real. The struggle is real for us.
Look at my grades. Look at my grades. It's growing, and I've seen it since the distance learning kicked off. It is a struggle.
It's we're all in this together. So like you
Yes.
said at the beginning, we have to give ourselves a lot of grace and know that while this isn't for forever, it's for right now, and we have to do our best, and that is, our best is what we can do. Our best is the best we can do, and that's fine. Our hearts are in the right place, and I know I've made mistakes with my kids, and I'm trying my best, and that's why I'm the world's okayest mom, right?
Me too. I hope I get that cup next year. I don't know if I'm okay-ish still.
I'm gonna send it to you for sure because I think you're more than okay. I think you're awesome.
Aw, because you love me.
I do.
But thank you, and I love you too. Thank you. So tell me more about this distance learning.
This section is so they have a wide open school. Now we know that school is so different in the fall than it was in the spring. The spring was kind of like the wild west, right? Like everyone's just trying to like figure things out. But now we have some experience. The teachers are have a little bit more structure.
Mm-hmm.
We have guidelines from the governor and also from our state Department of Education.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a lot of it's a different it's a different looking type of school in the fall, but there's still a lot here. Keeping our kids motivated for online learning, I mean, that is a struggle. So they have resources here that you can look at. And then I do love this, having how you can get your kids involved with other kids, like we talked about before. They're missing their friends, how to do online play dates or game nights or ways that we can socialize at a distance. So they have all of these resources there. They also offer weekly webinars, which are free, that parents can go to, and they are from other parents or parenting experts. And they also offer, back to school guides for families. So this is a great resource to go in and check it out. And if you're interested in more information on distance learning.
This is great.
There's one thing I want to show you, and I want to completely make this clear. This is a free website. Anyone can go in any section. So don't feel like as a parent, you can't go in the educator section, because you totally can. And this is a really great area too. If your child, their teacher, their classroom, their school, your district is using a certain ed tech tool or an app, and you don't know what it is and you want to find out more, going into the educator section is a great place to go.
Oh, that's good to know. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you go right here to the EdTech reviews, you can find out a lot about these tools that maybe you're like, maybe you don't know what Flipgrid is. So you could go in and you can go to the EdTech reviews. And again, here we go.
And Flipgrid has been a common question. We get calls at the county. Do you have any classes or any workshops? Because we need to learn these tools or these apps or these new ways of doing homework for kids, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. So I went to EdTech reviews and I just typed in Flipgrid and it was up, pulls up. I can click on it and then it will take me in here and I can read more about it. I can see how it can be used in the classroom. You can see how Common Sense rates it. And then you can find some more information about it and you can look at all of the different ratings. Now, just keep in mind, this will be a little bit more of a teacher point of view. But anybody, can go in and take a look at these and see all about them. So this is a really good spot to check out different tools that maybe your child is telling you, like, my teacher wants me to make a Flipgrid. Well, okay, what is that? And you can come in here and check it out. And there's also we got you too. From our county office, we have a website. Yeah, we have a website. It's right here. It's distancelearning.sbcss.net.
Yes.
And we have tons of resources here for families and parents too. And you can also watch all of our webinars that we have done for teachers. So you can see, kind of like pull back the curtain if you want to know more about like a certain tool, like Screencastify is an example. We did a whole webinar on Screencastify. So if your child is being asked to use Screencastify, you are more than welcome to come and check out our workshop on that. Mm-hmm. We're more than happy to share anything and everything with parents, teachers, everyone. But we do have some great resources right here in Family Resources. And I know that in our county, we have Footsteps to Brilliance, which is awesome. It's a wonderful way to get our kids reading. And it's free. It's a free literacy app. So
it's like a game. My son loves it. It's like a game. It's a reading game.
So fun, and it's really engaging. Mm-hmm. But there's lots of resources here that you can go through, and you can find out if you're like, oh, I don't really know what Khan Academy is, and my son is or daughter is supposed to go on Khan Academy for whatever reason. You could go here and you can find out more about all of these different things. So we have tons and tons of apps that we've looked at as well for you to help out.
And the website is distancelearning.sbcss.net. And then they go under Family Resources.
Yes. And it's the fourth one down. We also have some other resources on here, like I said, that you might want to check out, especially if you're looking for some offline resources. If you're really worried about like the social emotional part, like I am for my kiddos, missing their friends. We have some social emotional and also some self-care resources because it's really important. We're all functioning under this high level of stress. And now it's been like 6 months?
Yes. Who would have thought? But here we are 6 months later.
But here we are. But we're learning. There is a silver lining here, and we're learning and we're growing together. And my biggest thing is I want parents to know you're not alone. We are here for you. We're here for you at the county. I know your districts are. But certainly our family engagement, Marissa and our wonderful department and our department too, digital learning, we're all in this together. Yes. And we're happy to help in any way we can.
My colleague, my brother from another mother, Mars, I remember when we first closed shop, or we closed the doors and we're like, everybody needs to go home and work from home. This is what the governor is saying. We were trying to pull all the resources into the distance learning hub, and everybody from the county really pulled in their expertise, and we populated something. So it really speaks to not only the family that we have in SPCSS, the teamwork, but also the passion that we have for what we do and for the children we serve. And so these resources, I know that from our end, every time that we come up with a new resource, we connect with Laurel and Sono, and hey, there's this new thing that families can be supported with. So I think, and I say that to say that this is really a living document. things change,
Yes.
and they keep on being updated often by our teams.
Absolutely. And we did link in here Common Sense Media parent resources. So if you just came to our distancelearning.sbcss.net, you can access Common Sense from here. You don't have to open multiple or what was that website that she said? And you can even find this. You can even find this even if you just go to sbcss.net. That's an easy one to remember. Mm-hmm. And if you come here on our homepage, there's you can click right here on distance learning, and we have all of our resources, but we also have the resources hub, and that'll take you. So I know that we give out a lot of information, and sometimes it can be overwhelming, but this we wanted to really make like a one-stop shop. Yes. And it was a huge collaborative effort with all of our different departments to bring this to parents, to educators, to administrators, and be a place where we can grow together in this journey.
Yes. Thank you. And we are very fortunate. Thank you, Laurel, because we are very fortunate to have you and Sonal as our in-house experts. You're all over the state now. We're jealous. We're like, wait, she's ours. Bring her back. And so we had to bring you back to our Parent Summit because we know that you have a lot of expertise, not only on how to support teachers in this, but as a mom, you're a teacher that is a mom, and you know how real the struggle can get, and how one thing is to know the tools, another thing is to learn how to have that conversation with our children and how to structure ourselves. So like you said, that wellness piece where I'm not going crazy trying to be the perfect mom. I am normal and I'm a human, like my daughter would say, I'm a human. And give ourselves grace for being human and being just, that person that every day we're going to look at ourselves and say, what can I do differently to support me and support my children? Absolutely. Thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to show us? Or I know you're like full of resources and tools.
Oh my gosh. Well, yesterday in the keynote, we had so much to cover, and I wanted to make sure we got through and I didn't completely overwhelm everyone. I did want to show a couple of things, and where you just said reminded me of something from yesterday, and I'm actually going to pull that up. You can see my screen here. I want to go to this affirmation page, and I took the mentee off because, we already did that yesterday, but I wanted to show this affirmation because, we talk about, this is something we can use in our own personal lives as parents, but we can also communicate this to our kids. And this is from Chafee Avid. So thank you, Chafee Avid. And I love being able to highlight things from around our county, but the best is what I can do. And I love this second one. How human of me to feel nervous about trying something new. We're constantly trying something new, and you know what? We are human, or human, as your daughter would say. But yes. And giving ourselves the same grace that we give other people, I think, is huge. And, there's just a lot on here. And if you go, if you didn't get a chance to see this yesterday, I think these affirmations are amazing. And it's just the one I keep repeating to myself and also to my kids is I can do difficult things. Like I can, it's difficult, but I can do it. I am fully capable of doing difficult things, and that's okay. I don't have to have it all figured out to move forward. And that's something I think that we can really focus on. The other thing I really wanted to share, and I think that this is important, is just this unplugging and really trying to look at things. Don't forget to schedule in fun. We go constant. We're on this like hamster wheel, or maybe that's just me.
Oh no, we're on it. We're all on it. I wish I could lose weight, but I'm not losing it. Like, what kind of hamster wheel is this?
What kind of hamster wheel is this?
A mental and emotional one, I think.
Well, having fun is something that we really have to be mindful of, especially as, and it doesn't always have to be, there are some screen time things on here, like maybe watching a fun movie together or doing a Zoom call, but there's a lot that we can do offline. And I think that that's really important to honor, that we're kind of being forced to take this break. Mm-hmm. And so what can we do during this break that's really we're going to look back at it and say, that's time that I probably, will never get back. So how can we embrace this time? Now, I'm going to be completely transparent. Like, we've done a lot of chores. So it's not always like happy, happy, joy, joy, or at least for my kids it isn't, but
singing around the house.
Yeah. They're not jumping up and down. And I'm like, hey, you guys, guess what we're going to do? We're going to clean out the closets. And they're like,
and we're going to sing. We whistle while we work.
Yeah.
While we work.
Yeah, we're going to love it. And they're like, what? But now we have, normally on the weekends, I would be running from soccer game to soccer game, or we would be out of town for a tournament, or, I'm just running around in 700 places. Well, now, because we're not going as many places and we're not, going and doing all these things, we have the time to go and do some of these, chores or these fun activities. My kids love to ride their bikes. And I think I talked about this yesterday, but we live on a super busy street. Like, there's a corner and I don't know, people don't, I get nervous, right? And I'm saying, watch your cars. But, and I get nervous. So it's been really fun and a good way for all of us to unplug. I go out and I'm on like car patrol, and I stand out there, not on my phone because I have to watch for the cars, and I watch them ride their bikes. And I got my bike out. Yes, I had a flat tire because, I'll admit it's been a while since dusted off,
Like it'd been like 3 years. I didn't know how to get on it at first. That was me. That was me.
I was like, oh yeah, I have a bike too. Whoops.
How does it work again?
Gotta balance. But now we're really enjoying this time, and I can't be on my phone while I'm watching, and we've done some bike rides together, and it's just a really neat time that we've been able to. It doesn't cost us any money. The only thing it costs me is my time and getting them out the door. Now they're like, mom. And I'm like, yeah, let's go. Let's do this. I'm coming. Okay, fine. But the other thing that I've really tried to focus on is having them keep in touch with our family. We have a really big family. I'm the oldest out of 5 kids, right? My husband is the oldest out of 3. So we have lots of aunties, lots of uncles, grandmas, and so I've had them make a phone call, like pick one relative a week and call. And that's been really nice. And they've been able to keep in touch with family, and it's not the same. Normally we have lots of big family parties that we go to and gatherings, but we want to keep everyone safe. So we're not doing that right now. And so just keeping those relationships going, and it doesn't cost any money again. So there's things on here. We actually wrote, oh my gosh, Marissa, you were not even going to believe this. What? We wrote letters, like hand wrote letters, like, dear grandma.
You put a stamp?
I had to find stamps in the bottom of my purse. Like, I didn't even know I had stamps, right?
We got stamps. We wrote some. It was like in May for Mother's Day. We sent all kinds of cards to the aunties, and the kids were like, what are these for? Are these stickers? I'm like, these are stamps. If we don't put this, the mailman doesn't take it. No. They're like, what? Because they're used to emails and everything is free. Like, well, it's not really free. We pay the internet. We have to pay to have that service too.
Free. Yeah. No, we wrote, I was like, you don't even need like fancy stationery. Just like get out a piece of paper. It could be computer paper. Like, who are we kidding? Yeah. And just like write a note, draw a little picture. It was really cute too. And I like drew, my younger son, he drew a little comic strip.
Oh.
And it was, and then we put them in the mail, and oh my gosh, like it was really, really like their grandmas were so grateful.
Yeah.
And it was so fun to get something fun in the mail that's not like a bill, right? They're like, oh my gosh,
we all love it. We love to open stuff.
Oh my gosh, yes. And then my grandma, who has since passed away this summer, she had their letters pinned up on the wall. And so I think those little things that mean so much that we can do in this time as a family, looking through pictures, like looking through old pictures. It's so fun. And once you get started, you're like, you don't want to stop, right? Yes. And you have all of those, and you can talk about the good times, you can talk about the challenging times, how you got through them. And really, I know I keep saying this, but all of these things, that doesn't really cost us anything but our time. Yes. And we got some extra time right now, right?
You know, one of the affirmations that resonated with me that you put up there, as you're saying this, it reminds me of that. It's it won't let, this is not forever, it's temporary. And I keep telling my kids that, and I said that back in March when my daughter really went through a tough 3 weeks, because from being socializing in the school and going yes. out to not at all going out, staying in her room for 3 weeks. And it was raining. I remember it was raining forever. So it wasn't like we could just go to the backyard. And so yes. I kept on saying, baby.
Couldn't go to the park. Couldn't go anywhere.
And we live next to a park. So, but I told her, this is not going to last forever. Just remember that. And one day, let's make it the best, because one day you'll be part of history. And whatever you did in this time, you'll be able to tell your grandbabies, there was a time when we had to stay in our house for like 3 weeks. At the time, it was 3 weeks. Look at us now. It's like 6 months. But, just sharing that. And so sharing what you did, it will become part of your history. And so I love that you're giving us ideas, because you really need to make the best of it. It's not going to be forever. And it might change not to the way that it was before. So we will probably continue to evolve in this process. But our kids need to learn that it's not a forever situation. It'll get better.
Yeah, it's not for forever, but we can still enjoy the right now.
Yes.
And I think that we've all had our hard times. We've all had our tragedy. We've all had our heartaches. But for as much, hard times as we've gone through, and trust me, I know we've all had our fair share, yes. But and that's something that we can honor too. We can honor that this is not all sunshine and roses. We get that, but we can also look at the other side of that same coin and say that there have been some positives. Absolutely. And I didn't put it on here, but when you were talking, I had like this little light bulb. It's like, normally at the end of the year, I put together like the yearbook, our family yearbook, and I write down, and it's just like this little, it's not fancy. Don't get me wrong. It's like not fancy. And I try to get the pictures off my phone, the things that were like memorable from the year. And I write like a little caption of like, and what if we did some kind of a family journal for this year, or a family yearbook? And we talk about, hey, we've had some challenges, but here are some positives as well. And you could bring in the pictures, and you could talk about it. It could be digital, so it doesn't cost anything. You could do this on like some Google Slides, right? And you could work on something as a family. And that might be a different way to look at this year, because I know it's really easy to go down that negative, rabbit hole of it. I want 2020 to be over. Well, it's been rough. Like, who are we joking? It's been rough. I mean, from the pandemic to like, what was it? Like the killer bees to like everything
happened. I don't know what has not happened in 2020.
I don't even know where to start, but I do know that I've had some time with my kiddos and some fun things, and some of it's just not even anything special. It's just us sitting on the couch looking at an old photo album, and that's, to me, those are those moments that are gonna carry me through the next hard time, because who knows what's gonna happen in 2021. And like you said, things are gonna get better, and things are gonna change, and things are gonna be different. And you know what? We can show and model resiliency with our kids. We can show and model patience, and we can show and model grace. And it starts with giving grace to ourselves and grace to our kiddos. So I think
that's to that. Absolutely.
A good place to start.
Thank you for saying that. Thank you so much for lifting that mirror for us, so we can see positivity and how we can take something that is really stretching our muscles, our emotional or spiritual or brain power muscle.
All of the above.
All of the
All
above.
of the above.
And making it the best. Laura, we can do like 10 sessions with you, but I do want to say that you are doing currently parent workshops in San Bernardino City. And so districts can actually contact you if they have some needed support, some further support. So I know we can probably book you for 10 more sessions. And but why don't you share with us, how can we reach you if we want to do more in-house support? Is there a contact number?
Absolutely. And normally I don't know. Let me see if it's on this website. It should be. Let's see. Let me get back here to our distance learning hub. Actually, just on a regular sbcss.net,
under the staff.
We have our, you want to hear something fancy? When you come here and you go to technology, because we are the Digital Learning Services Department, and there's Sonal right there.
There's Sonal.
There
Shout
she is.
To Sonal. There's David.
There's David. Yes, David. We love our department.
Shout outs to your department who actually helped us put this conference together. So shout outs to this gentleman on the screen, David Thurston, who really helped us and our team put this entire event together for you. So thank you.
I am my computer again. It's going so slow. But if you go to DLS right here under technology, here we go. It has all of our mission and our vision, and then you can see our newsletter, all of our upcoming events, and you can also you can contact us really easily. So and I'm always available, and I'll have, it's also on the and I'll have it on that one pager. It's on yesterday's keynote. I have all of my contact information as well. But you can definitely reach us through the sbcss.net. And we will be happy to help in any way we can. We love our jobs. We love working with our districts, and we are so honored to work with our SBCSS family.
Thank you, Sonal. Thank you, Sonal. Thank you, Sonal. Thank you, David, and thank you, Laura, for bringing your expertise. We are really honored. And like I said, when we were first planning our parent summit, we were thinking, what are the areas that families need support in? And mental health, social emotional learning was definitely an area. And then we couldn't forget the new reality that we have and the challenge with that. And even as a parent that works in education and has to work with technology, my colleague Mars and my husband won't let me lie. I struggle. I love technology, but we struggle with it. It's kind of like English and me. We have this love and hate relationship, or sometimes I'm like, how do you say this in English? And same thing with technology. How do I do this? And so thank you, because even as I work in education and I have to do this, it's been a challenge for me as a mom. And so my heart goes out to the parents who hadn't found the need to really connect with technology in this way. They didn't know what Zoom was. And so it has been a struggle. And so my heart goes out to all of them. My hats off to each one of you parents, because you're doing amazing at home. The classroom is now in your home. And so I love the affirmations that Laurel posted up. Let's remember to have those affirmations forefront every day for our kids, so they know that the classroom, it's a positive environment, and it may be in the room, it may be in the kitchen, it may be in your living room, it may be in your bedroom, and you may have 4 kids taking each corner of your house or your apartment or your room. Just remember, it's not forever, but you are the best teacher and the number 1 teacher in your kid's life. So thank you for the work that you're doing. Any last words to our participants, Laurel?
Please don't hesitate to reach out. You are not alone. You have so many resources at your fingertips. And sometimes, I know for me, the hardest place to start is to ask. So please don't hesitate. We are here for you through San Bernardino County Superintendent of Schools office. I know through your districts. So many of our districts have amazing family engagement services departments, and we certainly do as well. And you are not alone. So please, it's not a burden to us. Reach out and ask for help if you need it, or guidance, or just a friendly ear to talk to. We are here for you, and we are happy to help you on this journey. The first place to start it, we're happy to help. So come on, give us a call, give us an email. We're happy. Come on.
We like
join the
people.
party.
We love to talk to people. We're socializers.
We do.
The struggle is real.
We miss people. We miss people.
We do. We're like, the struggle is real. I need a hug, like a real hug. I put in my presentations virtual hugs and I give myself a hug. It's just not the same. We need 10 hugs. So in one way or another, remember to give those 10 hugs to your children, your husband, your family members, whoever's around you that's safe in your home. Give a hug. Don't go out in the town. Don't say Marissa said go out in the town and hug people, because that's not what I said. But do get those hugs inside your house with your kids and give them hugs. So thank you so much. Join me in thanking Laurel Aguilar Kirchhoff. So for all the expertise, the passion, the knowledge, and as you can tell, she's really about supporting families, students, staff, and the community. So thank you, Laurel, for giving us the time today, your expertise, and we look forward to bringing you back.
No, thank you for having me. This has been truly, truly my pleasure. And I love not only being able to share my own journey, but also to help in any way that I can. So thank you for having me.
Thank you. Have a great rest of the conference, and we see you in the next session. Bye.